Here we go again. Another day, another complaint from a WNBA dump diver. I swear, this is the only professional sports league where the complaint department's open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Right now, we're in the middle of training camp in the NFL. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it's kind of hot outside. Most NFL players will tell you training camp, one of the most grueling parts of the season. But I have yet to hear one NFL player complain about the conditions at training camp. If these same conditions were in the WNBA, it would be nothing but complaints. Oh my God, it's so hot! This heat's melting my makeup! One thing I have noticed about the WNBA, they talk a really good game. They are experts at pretending like they care. We are all about equality. Everyone is welcome to participate in athletic events inside the dump. Plain Jane, Sexy Sherry, Giant Gary with the twig and dingleberries. The dump puts on a nice public front when it comes to female empowerment. The WNBA claims to be all about girl power. They claim to represent all women. Women like Bob Greiner, even women like Leah Thomas, who's working hard to transition from male to female birthing person. Although the WNBA does love to advocate for a woman's right to get pregnant and make the pregnancy disappear, they also claim to advocate for a woman's right to become a mother, which is great. But the thing about being an activist, and make no mistake about it, the WNBA is filled with professional activists. If you are going to advocate for something, you better be damn sure that you are willing to back up your words, you're willing to practice what you preach. Just this week, we talked about Queen Kong, better known as the Lizzo. Publicly, the Lizzo claims to be an advocate for body positivity, but behind the scenes, she chastises her own employees for consuming too many Whoppers. Publicly, the WNBA puts on a nice front, claiming to fully support their women who choose to get pregnant. But it is becoming abundantly clear that behind the scenes, it is a completely different story. A while back, we talked about Dearica Hamby. KC, when did Derrick Henry apply for a job as a garbage man? Not Derrick Henry. He's a actual professional athlete. I'm talking about Dearica Hamby. She is a former part-time employee at the dump in Las Vegas. Last year, during their run to the WNBA Finals, where they won the right to use the golden toilet, Dearica Hamby revealed that she had become pregnant. Publicly, the Las Vegas Aces, they pretended to be overjoyed. Keep producing these future dump divers. With government welfare steadily increasing, we are having a difficult time finding qualified trash engineers. But privately, the Aces could not get rid of her fast enough. Couple of months later, Dearica Hamby was traded to the LA Sparkles for a future second-round graduate of Woke U and the rights to some unknown pretend basketball player who was making real money by playing basketball overseas. Dearica Hamby accused Becky Hammon and the Spades of treating her unprofessionally and unethically. She claims that she was no longer allowed to utilize the facilities offered in the dump. She insinuated that the only reason she was traded was because of her pregnancy. Now, once these accusations were made public, the diva of dump divas, Miss Kathy Engelbert, she suspended Becky Hammon for a couple of games. If I remember correctly, I think she also took away one or two of their draft picks. In the NBA, that would be a big deal, but in the WNBA, that's not too much of a punishment since, players that are drafted usually decide to stay in college so they can actually make money. This situation with Dearica Hamby, this happened back in January. Now, you would think, with the harsh punishment handed down by the Queen Diva, managers of the other 11 dumps spread out across America, they would be hesitant to mishandle players who become pregnant. If so, you would think wrong. Yesterday, Skylar Diggins-Smith came out publicly and accused the Phoenix Mercury of icing her out of the organization. Now, I know most of you guys are unfamiliar with employees in the WNBA just like me, so let me just take a second here to describe the difference in, for lack of a better word, status between Dearica Hamby and Skylar Diggins-Smith. Dearica Hamby is a role player. She's the sixth man. Well, I guess in the WNBA, she would be called the sixth woman. Hell, Who the hell knows? With Bob Greiner advocating for all birthing persons to play in the WNBA, maybe they call it the sixth they. Either way, Dearica Hamby is a role player, someone like Jamal Crawford or Malcolm Brogdon. Key contributors, no doubt about it, but they're not the foundation of the team. You're not building your franchise around a role player. Skylar Diggins-Smith, she's more comparable to like a Chris Paul or Dame Lillard. Those guys are superstar level players. I'm hesitant to call Skylar Diggins-Smith a superstar because superstars or stars in general don't really exist in the WNBA, but all kidding aside, Skylar Diggins-Smith is one hell of a basketball player, one of the best in the WNBA. But there's a reason I'm pointing this out. When the same thing happened to Dearica Hamby, Las Vegas, they could justify this publicly by claiming that, hey, we're just simply trading a role player, a contributor, someone who can give you good minutes, but they don't really impact the game on a nightly basis. Skylar Diggins-Smith is a game changer. She is an impact player. Now, there are rumors that the Phoenix Masculines could be looking to trade her. I would imagine yesterday only strengthened those rumors because yesterday, the allegations against the Masculines, they started off simple. Yesterday was a special day for the player with three names. It was Skylar's 33rd birthday. Happy belated birthday! I would have took a second yesterday to recognize the special day on the woke calendar, but I was training my new puppy to make her doodle in the backyard and I completely forgot. Seems like I wasn't the only person, though, that was distracted yesterday by the doodle to wish Skylar Diggins-Smith a happy birthday. Apparently, the employees in Phoenix got sidetracked emptying the porta potties and completely forgot about this special day. Or they just failed to wish her a happy birthday on purpose out of spite. Well, KC, there is a third possibility. Maybe the Masculines are focused on equity. In order to prevent the violation of inequitable practices, perhaps they refuse to wish any of their employees a happy birthday. That's actually an excellent point. As you guys know, WNBA, they are determined to be equitable. And I would believe that excuse if it weren't for the fact that Phoenix wished Skylar Diggins-Smith a happy birthday just last year. I don't understand why this is being made into a big deal. I mean, I haven't celebrated a birthday since I turned 21. But according to Skylar Diggins-Smith, the failure to wish her a happy birthday is just another example of the mistreatment she has endured from the Phoenix Mercury all season. She claims that her access card to the dump has been revoked. She is no longer allowed to use team resources like Woke Bath Wednesday. She is no longer allowed in catering to consume the complimentary cucumbers. No access to team chefs for the supersized squash. No conditioning, both physical and air conditioning. Inside sources tell me management in Phoenix, they removed the window unit that was attached to her hut. Skylar Diggins-Smith claimed the only association that she has with the Phoenix Mercury, and she claims that this is coming from management themselves. Her only association to the team is her bi-weekly paycheck, which brings me to my point. Skylar Diggins-Smith has missed the entire season because of her pregnancy. She announced the pregnancy back in October, so I would assume that she's had the baby by now. She's missed the entire season on maternity leave, and she is not expected to return this year. Meanwhile, the Phoenix Mercury, they are sitting at 6-19, and they are arguably the worst team in the league. I have never been pregnant. I know that's hard to believe since according to biologists at Woke U, men can now become pregnant. I also have no plans of ever becoming pregnant. That being said, I realize that women's bodies, they can change drastically after delivering a baby. But I think the point of contention here between management in Phoenix and Skylar Diggins-Smith, I think management believes that she is capable of returning and helping this team do something they haven't done all season, win games. On the other hand, Skylar Diggins-Smith obviously does not feel comfortable returning. And look, she is well within her rights to feel that way. Here's the problem. At the end of the day, the Phoenix Mercury, this is a business. It might be a poorly run business. It might avoid paying taxes by filing as a 501c3, but even charities have to figure out a way to become profitable. There's a salary cap in the WNBA. When a large portion of your salary cap is being consumed by a player that can't get on the floor, I would imagine that the team has a real problem with it. If I'm paying someone six figures and they're unable to touch the court and I'm the worst dump in the league, I'm going to be feeling salty too. There's an old saying in the NBA: the best ability is availability. I don't understand the fake outrage here in the mainstream media. Earlier this morning, Skylar Diggins-Smith claimed that she could not be the villain in this situation, and the media, they are running with that narrative. But to me, this is no different than someone like Zion Williamson in New Orleans. Zion Williamson has been shit on by sports media his entire career. Why? He's never available to play. This season, Skylar Diggins-Smith has been unavailable, and somehow the team is the villain? The team is in the wrong for expecting a player that they're paying six figures to play basketball to actually play basketball? Look, I am not knocking Skylar Diggins-Smith for wanting to have a child. That's all well and good, but that is not the Phoenix Mercury's problem. The organization has one objective, one goal: find players who can win basketball games. As a player, kind of hard to win when you're not available to play, whether it's a hamstring injury or a pregnancy. Thing is, one of those can be avoided. WNBA teams, they can talk all they want about girl power. They can talk all they want about women's rights and being supportive of players who become pregnant, but that is nothing but empty words. These teams only care about winning. Like I said earlier, when this happened with Dearica Hamby, the league could justify that situation by claiming Las Vegas was just trading a role player. They cannot use that same justification with Skylar Diggins-Smith. I know it might sound harsh, but it's entirely possible that WNBA teams don't want their players to get pregnant, at least not if it's going to have a detrimental impact on the season. This is one of those situations where I can understand both sides. I can sympathize with Skylar Diggins-Smith feeling betrayed by her team, and I can understand the position of the Phoenix Mercury being pissed off that you're paying someone for their services and they are unable to provide them. What about you? Who are you siding with here? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.